Sidney was born Sophia Koso in the Bronx, New York, the daughter of Rebecca, née Saperstein, a Romanian Jew, and Victor Koso, a Russian Jewish immigrant who worked as a clothing salesman. Her parents divorced by 1915, and she was adopted by her stepfather Sigmund Sidney, a dentist. Her mother became a dressmaker and renamed herself Beatrice Sidney. Now using the surname Sidney, Sylvia became an actress at the age of 15 as a way of overcoming shyness. As a student of the Theatre Guild School for Acting, she was praised by theatre critics for her performances. In 1926, she made her first film appearance as an extra in D. W. Griffith's The Sorrows of Satan. During the Depression, Sidney appeared in a string of films, often playing working-class heroines, or the girlfriend or sister of a gangster. She appeared with Gary Cooper, Spencer Tracy, Henry Fonda, Joel McCrea, Frederick March, George Raft and Cary Grant. Among her films from this period were An American Tragedy, City Streets, and Street Scene, all 1931, Alfred Hitchcock's Sabotage and Fritz Lang's Fury, both 1936, You Only Live Once and Dead End, both 1937, and The Trail of the Lonesome Pine, an early three-strip Technicolor film. During this period, she developed a reputation for being difficult to work with. At the time of making Sabotage with Alfred Hitchcock, Sidney was one of the highest-paid actresses in the industry, earning $10,000 per week, earning a total of $80,000 for Sabotage. Sidney's career diminished somewhat during the 1940s. In 1949, exhibitors voted her box office poison. In 1952, she played the role of Fantine in Les Miserables, and although the film itself did not meet the studio's expectations, Sidney received critical praise for her performance. Sidney appeared 3 times on Playhouse 90. On May 16, 1957, she appeared as Lulu Morgan, mother of singer Helen Morgan in The Helen Morgan Story. 4 months later, Sidney rejoined her former co-star Bergen on the premiere of the short-lived The Polly Bergen Show, 10. She also worked in television during the 1960s on such programs as Route 66, The Defenders, and My Three Sons. In 1973, Sidney received an Academy Award nomination for her supporting role in Summer Wishes, Winter Dreams. As an elderly woman, Sidney continued to play supporting screen roles, and was identifiable by her husky voice, the result of cigarette smoking. She was the formidable Miss Coral in the film version of I Never Promised You a Rose Garden and later was cast as Aidan Quinn's grandmother in the television production of An Early Frost where she spoke the memorable line AIDS is a disease, not a disgrace, and for which she won a Golden Globe Award. She played Aunt Marion in Damien, Omen 2 and had key roles in Beetlejuice, directed by longtime Sidney fan Tim Burton, for which she won a Saturn Award, and Used People. Her final role was in Mars Attacks, another film by Burton, in which she played an elderly woman whose beloved records by Slim Whitman helped stop an alien invasion from Mars. On television, she appeared in the pilot episode of WKRP in Cincinnati as the imperious owner of the radio station, and she appeared in a memorable episode of 30-something as Melissa's tough grandmother, who wanted to leave her granddaughter the family dress business, though Melissa wanted a career as a photographer. Sidney also appeared at the beginning of each episode as the crotchety travel clerk on the short-lived late 1990s revival of Fantasy Island. She also was featured on Starsky and Hutch, The Love Boat, Magnum, P.I. Diagnosis Murder, and Trapper John, M.D. Her Broadway career spanned 5 decades, from her debut performance as a graduate of the Theatre Guild School in June 1926 at age 15, in the 3-act fantasy Prunella to the Tennessee Williams play View Care in 1977. Other stage credits included The Four-Poster, Enter Laughing, and Barefoot in the Park. In 1982, Sidney was awarded the George Eastman Award by George Eastman House for distinguished contribution to the art of film. Sidney was married 3 times, first to publisher Bennett Cerf on October 1, 1935, they divorced on April 9, 1936. She married actor and acting teacher Luther Adler in 1938, by whom she had her only child, a son Jacob, Jody, 1939–1987, who died of Lou Gehrig's disease while his mother was still alive. Adler and Sidney divorced in 1946. On March 5, 1947, She married radio producer and announcer Carlton Alsop. They divorced on March 22, 1951. A Democrat, Sidney supported Adlai Stevenson's campaign during the 1952 presidential election. She published 2 books on the art of needlepoint, and raised and showed pug dogs. Sidney died on July 1, 1999 from esophageal cancer at Lenox Hill Hospital in Manhattan at age 88. Her remains were cremated.